The terrible tragedy in Orlando has sparked a new round of attacks on sporting long guns from people that know absolutely nothing about them or how they function. Let's take a look at the most common arguments that are used to try to ban these popular firearms. Why does anyone need a military-style assault weapon? They're very scary. I'll give you a few reasons. The first one, self-defense. Many people prefer the versatility and comfort of a modern sporting rifle like the AR-15 for home defense situations. This is especially true with smaller women, the elderly, and handicapped people, but also men. Many people don't think that a shotgun or a pistol are the ideal home defense firearm. They have that right. They can choose a firearm that best fits their needs. If somebody prefers to use an AR-15 to defend their home, why should you care? Unless you're invading their home. Number 2, hunting. I personally don't hunt, but there are plenty of people that choose the AR-15 platform or other types of modern sporting rifles to hunt. People hunt hogs, coyote, even deer. Modern sporting rifles come in a variety of different calibers and barrel lengths and configurations that make them ideal for hunting. I know we hear all the time that AR-15s aren't used for hunting, but that's a total crock of shit. Because they are. Just Google it for yourself. Number 3, for sporting purposes. The AR-15 is the most popular rifle in America for a reason. It's used in various sporting competitions and shooting events all over the country. People enjoy shooting them at paper, cardboard, steel targets, plenty of things that aren't living, and they do it competitively and sometimes even professionally. There are even youth leagues that shoot competitively. Many of these kids are more accurate and more precise than some of the adults they shoot with. I know, I've dealt with that myself. And a 4th reason, it's none of your business. I gave my previous answers as a courtesy, but the fact is the Second Amendment guarantees us the right to keep and bear arms. It's there, it's in the Bill of Rights. As much as you probably hate it, we don't have to give you a reason to want to own these firearms. That's our choice, it's our right. Assault weapons are designed to kill as many people as fast as possible. CNN told me they shoot 700 rounds per minute. No, they're not designed to kill as many people as fast as possible. That's just what the news and the politicians tell you, and you buy this shit. If you don't know anything about guns, why are you listening to them instead of people that know about guns? Firearms are designed to expel a projectile to the destination that the operator chooses. That's all. That's as complicated as it is. This whole bullshit about how they're designed to kill people as fast as possible is just another way to demonize the firearm and take the blame off the shooter. Was your car designed to drive into a crowd of people, or was it designed to accelerate, brake, and turn and get you to a destination? It can be used for both. The operator chooses the function. The car was designed to drive you from A to B. And in the same token, a firearm was not designed to shoot people. It's designed to shoot. You can do bad shit with that, or you can do good shit with that. That applies to both cars, firearms, and everything else in life. Oh, and 700 rounds per minute? Come on. Actual military-grade weapons could potentially fire up to 700 rounds a minute full auto if you didn't have to change magazines. Semi-automatic rifles? Never. Not even close. 60 rounds a minute is probably more realistic, and this rate isn't any different than it would be with a handgun. You can shoot about 60 rounds per minute. If that guy didn't have access to that assault weapon, maybe less people would have died? In a lot of recent mass shootings, the shooters are actually choosing long guns such as the AR-15 and other modern sporting rifles, and this is probably due to the fact that it's the most popular rifle in the country. Regardless, pistols have been the choice historically for mass shootings, and the results have been essentially the same. While the recent Orlando shooting did result in the most deaths from a mass shooting, that title was previously held by the douchebag of Virginia Tech, who killed 32 people with 2 pistols, a 9mm Glock and a .22 caliber pistol. By the way, he had 10 and 15 round magazines in those pistols, so please don't give me any of this large capacity magazine bullshit. When you have a guy shooting up a crowd of innocent people who are hiding behind furniture just trying to save their lives, the size of the magazine, the caliber of the bullet, whether or not it's a handgun, a shotgun, or a revolver, it doesn't matter because this person has unfettered access to these people who can't defend themselves. The result's gonna be the same. We saw it in Virginia Tech, and it's been seen in other shootings as well, and it's gonna happen again at some point. Just because certain types of firearms are being chosen as a trend recently doesn't mean they somehow make the shootings more deadly. Fully automatic AR-15 assault rifles with 30 magazine clips are just too dangerous. Civilians shouldn't own them. Listen, all firearms are dangerous in the hands of somebody that means to do harm with them. In the same way that knives, rocks, baseball bats, even fists are dangerous. Here's a few important statistics to consider though. The majority of gun homicides in this country are from handguns, not rifles. According to FBI homicide data, the link to the FBI's website is below. Handguns are used for about 6,210 murders per year on average. Rifles account for about 327 murders per year on average. About 327 deaths per year on average are from rifles. Think about that. 327 from rifles, 6,200 from handguns. Handguns are used almost 20 times more frequently to murder people in this country than rifles. Why are we demonizing rifles? You know what's even more interesting though? There are an average of 746 murders per year from personal attacks. That means fists and feet. People are literally punching and kicking people to death, more than double what rifles are used to murder people. That's right, more than twice as many people are punched and kicked to death every year than are killed by rifles in this country. Let me give you some more numbers. In the past 50 years, from 1966 until 2016, from the University of Texas shooting to the recent shooting in Orlando, 869 people died in mass shooting events where 4 or more people were murdered. Gun murders in Chicago surpassed that entire amount in 2 or 3 year cycles. The vast majority of those are handguns. If you care so much about saving lives, why not call on a ban for handguns instead of AR-15s and other sporting rifles? They're actually used to kill the most people. It's because the politicians can't do that because the Supreme Court already said you can't ban handguns. So why do average everyday people in this country that don't seem to know much about guns want to ban the AR-15? I'll tell you why. They don't give a shit about gangbangers offing each other in the poorest neighborhoods in this country. But what they do care about is some batshit crazy terrorist can walk into a safe place and take you out, but your focus is in the wrong place. It's on the tool instead of the person and why they're doing this. But let's step back from that and take a look at some more numbers. Going by averages, the odds of you dying in a mass shooting are about 1 in 19 million in America. You're more likely to be struck by lightning multiple times or even hit by a meteor than you are to be killed in a mass shooting. Realistically, you're much more likely to die by drowning or in a car accident. So it's essentially an unfounded fear. There's almost no chance it's going to happen to you at all. The sad part is you're willing to give up just a little bit more freedom every time a terrorist attacks us, which is exactly what their goal is. When does it end? When we have no freedoms left at all? You're willing to keep giving up our freedoms because we have to do something and react based on emotion instead of logic and try to take actions that are not gonna help in any way, that are actually gonna make us less safe. These emotional reactions do nothing to actually start working towards solutions to these problems. You go ahead and give up your freedoms, but leave mine alone.